Merry meet, guys. Welcome back to Witches of the Moon. I am your Wednesday host, Houston, and I have a glare in my glasses. It's okay. And this week, week 6, we are talking about incorporating children and non-pagan folk, doesn't have to be family, into your pagan practice or spiritual practice, if they want to. I don't believe that you should force anything on anyone. If they don't seem interested, then leave them be. This is going to add bad vibes to the whatever you're doing anyway. But there are a couple things that I do want to go over in this video on some tips and tricks on how, if they're interested and they're interested in what you're doing, and if you want them to be more spiritual, how you can go about it, if they want to. This is all about if they want to do it. Like if they want more knowledge into what you're doing, then here's a couple ways, a couple tips and tricks on how you can go about that. The first thing, I'll start with kids. With kids, like Natalie said, getting them involved with stories, story time, actually arts and crafts too. The pagan religion, or the pagan spiritual path of paganism, does have a lot of artistic outlets that you can involve in your craft, whether it be making their own masks for a particular ritual, for a particular, like Halloween, make their own masks for Halloween, or Samhain. They can help you in the kitchen with different recipes for the different Sabbats or different holidays or different times of the year. And for that, I do have a book recommendation. I've talked about it before when we talked about raising kids in the craft. This is Circle Round, Raising Children in the Goddess Tradition by Starhawk, Diane Baker, and Ann Hill. It's a fantastic book. And not just really for raising kids either. I think it's a great book if you want to know more about, if you follow the Wheel of the Year, if you want to know more about the Sabbats. They have stories for each Sabbat from different traditions. It's most like each time of year. They have different recipes that have been put together from different traditions as well. They have songs that are in there. They also have crafts, which is one thing that I was saying earlier. Get them involved, get them crafting, and you're making your own magic too. You know, they're making their own magic. That's a good way to put it when you involve kids. And I do think the story aspect goes into non-pagan adults as well, and teenagers. The crafting, if they want to, let them join in. Don't, if it piques their interest, let them go for it. But when involving people of other spiritualities and other religions that don't really understand your craft, the best thing is to inform them what you believe in, which is sometimes kind of hard to put in words because it's so personal. It's difficult to enunciate on what that is to someone else. Do the best you can. You can give a broad statement of what you believe in if they have any, and if they have kind of any questions, like you missed something or anything, from what they believe, like comparing it to their belief, not really to weigh their options, but to see things from your side. Be patient, answer as many questions as they have. And hopefully, they'll take it serious. There's some people out there that won't, but it's not on us to make them believe. If they don't want to believe it, they don't have to. But since we're talking about getting people involved, one thing you can do with adults, or with young adults, teens and adults, is basically explain what you're doing. Like I said, explain why you feel like you need to do a protection spell, or why you need to do a cleansing spell, or what does a healing prayer for you or a healing spell for you involve? Why would it be a little bit different than, let's say, your Christian mom or your Christian family praying for healing? Why? Explain to them why it's different if you know that, you know. Break down what the word spell means, what the word ritual means. Sorry you're bouncing so much. You're on my bed, and when I emphasize with my hands, my bed shakes, because, well, it's the best and quiet place to do it in my bedroom. This video, I mean. What else? Get them in, like what Jen was saying. Get them in meditation if that's what they're interested in. They want to find calm and peace and serenity. Help them with meditation. I know I introduced my mom to crystals, a tiny bit of crystals, mostly hematite, because she was having bone pain, joint pain, and hematite's really good for relieving arthritis and things like that. So she has a hematite necklace and 2 hematite gemstone bracelets that I gifted her. I don't know about the necklace. I know the bracelets I get. I don't remember if it's a hematite necklace or not. I don't think she has one of those. I'll backtrack and say she just has the 2 bracelets. And when she feels really bad, like with her hip, she just puts the hand with the bracelet down on her hip. And she says it does ease it, but it's getting kind of bad. Another thing I've introduced to both my parents is Reiki. I haven't attuned them or anything, but I have, when she was having her hip was bothering her really bad we were at my aunt's house for Thanksgiving or Christmas or something. She was just quiet, and Mom's usually not that quiet. I get my talkative side from her. I looked at her and asked her what's wrong. She said, just my hips bother me. And it was the one on the side where, I could just put my hand down there and just put my hand on it. And I did, and I called in Reiki energy, and she was like, whoa, it's getting hot, and the pain's bouncing away. And I was like, shh. I don't want her to freak out, or anyone else to freak out. My dad kind of already knew what it was, so I didn't really have to break it to him, or, explain it to him. He understood what it was. They haven't asked for a full-on session. I think a while back, 7, 8 years ago, my mom and dad know that I read the cards, tarot and oracle. My mom was having a really crappy day, and she just asked out of nowhere. She's like, hey, can you read the cards for me? Having a really crappy day, and I don't know if I can make it to vacation, which was about like 2 weeks from then. And she's like, is there anything that I need to know? I don't read the cards. Just be open. I think when you open yourself up to, if your family's accepting, I'm not saying that you should jump out of the broom closet if your family's not accepting, and you know that for a fact that they're not accepting. Don't put yourself in any kind of danger or things like that, because there could be repercussions of, it's almost like coming out of the closet when you're gay, lesbian, or bisexual. You kind of have that fear that you'll get kicked out and disowned from the family. In this day and age, unfortunately, that's a possibility. So I am not saying that if you feel that coming out of the closet to your parents or family or whatever, that you're a pagan or a witch. If you feel that it's not a good idea, don't do it. Wait till it's the right time, and do it that way. But once they kind of know that you do this, it piques their interest. And a lot of people who come to you and want to get involved, they're already interested in something. So find out what they're interested in. Like Jen said, whether it be crystals, meditation, whether it be they want to work with energy, or They want to get a close relationship with God or the angels or a different deity, or they want to make things like candles and incense and things like that. Help them, get together and help them and create magic. So that's it before I continue rambling on. That's it for this week's video. If you have any questions or concerns or comments or anything like that, leave them down in the comment section. I'll make sure to respond to as many as I can. And until next week, many blessings.